Are we talking about the purpose, the overview of the importance of community service, the primary objective of mandatory community service, academics in relationship to community service, importance of service learning, counter arguments, what we're going to be able to do, final takeaway, my works cited, and any questions? The purpose of this essay is to solidify the claim that in the United States, all high school graduates who do not go into a military or any other public service must serve for 1 year in a qualified community service program before any other type of employment or college attendance. In this presentation, I will be going over the history of the importance of community service, the explanation of the common causes of lack of community service in young adults, the impact of community service around the world, what it accomplishes and how it benefits others, and the purpose of implementing mandatory community service. There are significant sustaining factors associated with the initial volunteer experience. Factors such as the amount of enjoyment, support, respect, and appreciation students encounter in their placements are important in promoting a commitment to subsequent volunteering. Brown quotes, "Advocates point to a well-established relationship between volunteer activity and a syndrome of dispositions and behaviors reflective of responsible citizenship. In addition, the prevalence and necessity of community service are dramatically rising with the lack of empathy and respect globally. Service learning or community service programs have been associated with improved civic responsibility, civic inclusion, commitment to future volunteering, and enhanced civic skills. Volunteering can help enable personal growth and overall community growth." The primary objective of creating this mandatory community service is to address the declining civic engagement within society, as well as increase civic responsibility among teenagers and young adults. The effects of service are strongest in the area of civic responsibility. Linda Sachs explains her experience in the classroom with students as she asks how much their commitment to serving the community has changed while entering college. This indication of the student's commitment to service before and after the initial serving program analyzes whether or not the student's enjoyment of the program and how beneficial the program was to the student. More than twice as many service participants as non-participants reported on the follow-up questionnaire that their commitment to serving the community was either stronger or much stronger than their commitment had been when they were a freshman. These students had been more empathetic response to the misfortunes of others after their experience and felt more responsible for social change. These service programs allow students to gain empathy in the community as students become more aware of people in need. This increase in civic responsibility creates a sense of independence and confidence in young adults. Students who performed community service are stronger academically than those who do not. Linda Sachs explains, and despite the additional time required for participation, students who engage in volunteer service actually spend more time studying and homework than do non-participants. This additional time working on community service projects allows them to help in a contrasting way than they would at school or home. This service work authorizes students to connect with people and help mold people's lives. Sachs shows that of the amount of students who had at least a B+ average in high school, 69% of service participants compared to 56% of non-participants were able to maintain at least a B+ average in college. Community service involvement creates a community of involved students. Participating in community service creates a drive to excel in the future. Empathizing with work and community service members creates a room of learning, curiosity, and a love for people. While service learning in form is different from community service in essence, it's very similar. Service learning is most often known as learning outside of the classroom. This is an educational approach where students learn knowledge within the classroom and then apply this knowledge in a volunteer or work setting. This encourages students to engage in activities to deepen their understanding of what is being taught within the classroom. Service learning involves a total of 4 pillars in the process of structuring a project, which includes the service that addresses real-life needs, the service and learning goals that are equally important, reciprocity between those serving and those being served, and a program that is clearly structured for those participants. While community service focuses on how those serving feel and what impacts correlate with how they're helping. Service learning focuses on how the students are able to learn in the community. The basic idea behind service learning is to use a community or public service experience to enhance the meaning and impact of traditional course content. Chamber and Lavery point out several values which include empathy, leadership, self and societal reflection, confidence, professional practice, and knowledge and skills. While Ye emphasizes the pivotal traits to ensure survival, which includes building skills and understanding, developing resilience, finding personal meanings, and developing critical consciousness, particularly not only as predictive human beings, but also for the employment market. While Ye, Chambers, and Lavery all had different experiences with this learning, they all found it beneficial with their overall comprehension and belonging in both service and work. Although the benefits outweigh the negative attributes to community service, many students still will not participate in community service. While mandating a year solely for the purpose of community service, this may be unfavorable to many young adults. This gap forces children who may not want to partake in community service to do so, which ultimately puts their life on a brief pause. Taking into account the premise of financial despair could also be a concern. If young adults are unable to work, they are unable to earn money and thus may not be able to provide safe living environments. Students with negative attributes towards volunteer work may find this a more daunting task than others. But this program will force them to value their community and all the people that do activities such as this for them. The last counter-argument is the ethics regarding mandatory community service. Mandating can often be seen as forceful and unethical, as we cannot force young adults to partake in this service work. So what now? It's important to recognize that people may not have this time available currently, since policy changes are not occurring where mandated community service is ethical. We can still provide ways, however, to increase community service involvement. Making it easier to get involved, enrolling in your program or signing up for new events, having a digital access to your volunteers' organization's information, offering opportunities with shorter time commitments. Oftentimes, the reason that people stay away from community service is because they are not able to commit to a long time opportunity. Shorter time commitments create more opportunities for people with busy schedules. Recognition or appreciation for the volunteers. Showing your appreciation for their hard work allows volunteers to get recognition for all they do, and being active in the community. Volunteer work is critical to community success. This service work does not just benefit communities, but it also impacts young adults completing the service work. This work is crucial to keeping communities flourishing. The implementation of mandatory community service decreases the need for volunteers and increases aid for underfunded and understaffed areas of the community. In the United States, all high school graduates who do not go into the military or another public service must serve for 1 year in qualified community service programs before employment or other college attendance, as community and our students benefit strongly from this work. Community service builds morale, work ethic, social responsibility, and civic engagement, and makes students ready to face challenges that may come to them. Thank you for watching my presentation. If you have any questions or concerns, please respond to the discussion post this week or email me at the link below. Thank you again.